everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the second edition, or like take 2 of our announcements of our summer schedule for 2010. This is pretty much the same presentation that the folks at New York Anime Fest saw and everybody would have seen, but for our technical difficulties that we were having. We believe that all of those should be resolved now. A lot of it had to do with the wireless connection at the Javits Center and the bandwidth that we were trying to use. So hopefully you can all hear us really well now, and we'll be able to broadcast things more smoothly next time, even if we're not actually in the TOKYOPOP office.
Yeah, we've been working with our partners, the iLink folks who created the software, to figure out, how we can tweak the software to do this better. We'll be doing some more testing because we want to be able to, it doesn't have to just come from the TOKYOPOP offices. We want to be able to do this from all over. So that's the goal. In any case, some of this will be recycled material that, was kind of just right for that time, but, we're just going to give you the whole spiel, and
then you can ask us exciting questions. So please, start coming up with your questions now. We got a lot of good ones at New York Anime Fest, but anything you want to ask, type it in the chat section, and the person who's monitoring that will transfer it to us at the end of the presentation. So to start off, we've got some videos to show you.
it just occurred to me, do you guys see Jason there? This is Jason Milligan. He's, what's your title?
I don't even know.
All right, Jason works in our media team, and all of these trailers that we've been showing you guys recently, including this awesome one, which first time I saw it, gotta admit, I got a little sad because it's so sad and so moving. This is the guy who creates them all, so he's awesome. He's also filming our thing right now. That's why he's standing here. It just occurred to me we should introduce him.
I just follow you around.
That's right. So anyway, if you like what you see, you should thank him. He's awesome. Now he's going to go back to listening to us.
If you don't like what you see, you should send her the email.
Yeah. Actually, the other funny thing about the Chibi Vampire trailer is that one of our interns actually helped select the images and write the text for that.
Right.
So one of the many things that you get to do if you're a TOKYOPOP editorial intern is help put together this kind of content. So thanks, Daniela. Great job.
By the way, I'm Kasha Pikar's.
Yeah, I don't think we introduced ourselves.
Well, you guys all know Lillian, if you've been on here before, senior editor. And I'm the marketing manager. And if you guys follow our Twitter feed, I tweet all the time under KP. So any of those that come from me, if they're especially marketing oriented, like reviews and stuff like that, it's me. So
yeah, that's in honor of Chibi Vampire Volume 14, which should be on shelves now or soon.
It's on sale now.
On sale now,
yeah.
So go check it out. It's the exciting conclusion to everything.
There's also a preview of Dead Man Wonderland in Chibi 14, so if you're excited about that, we should check it out.
A great new title. And we have
looking down upon my plea. If only I could climb up there and soar through your debris. I bring this angel back to heaven, captured just for me.
Hooray! That is Princess I, Prism of the Midnight Dawn, Volume 2. That's coming out in December, provided that I get it to the printer on time. Yay! Look for that coming up soon. The first volume did great. We're looking forward to this one as well. So check that out come December. And last but not least, we have a video from San Diego Comic-Con featuring everybody's favorite character that they don't know what he is.
First day of the show. It's Wednesday night, and here appears
We see him on TV. We got to see him in the awesome clips that they have on the Domo Nation website. And so seeing Domo actually come to life and hang out with us and dance with us, that was pretty awesome.
I met Domo at Kanto, and he was dancing.
Domo!
The Domo dance moves that the Domo had was the highlight of my Comic-Con.
Domo's a very good dancer.
unbelievable, indefatigable, tons of energy. We couldn't get him to stop.
People ask me a lot, what is Domo?
What exactly is a domo?
Nobody's been able to answer that question.
Domo, what are you exactly?
Domo is he's a...
So what do you guys know about Domo?
Super cute. She's my boyfriend.
He's brown, the big red mouth.
Square. Square? Yes.
Domo is different things to different people.
Honestly, I don't know what he is.
I think a lot of people are just confused about Domo.
He's very popular.
So we love Domo.
I think Domo is awesome.
I would take a samurai sword for Domo.
I love him.
He smells like cinnamon.
I'll tell you, after Domo was dancing all day, he did not smell like cinnamon.
He did not smell like cinnamon, that was for sure.
Yeah. One thing we know about Domo is that he hatched from an egg.
We do know that Domo hatched
We
from
should
an
have
egg.
mentioned that in this.
We know
this
that was
video.
our boss's wife dancing in one of those shots.
Yep.
So there's excellent blackmail material that we caught on tape at San Diego Comic-Con. So yeah.
So clearly we're sort of in love with Domo. Speaking of Domo, there's some really awesome stuff going on right now with Domo. I don't know if you all are aware, and we'll be talking about this in our newsletter on Friday. Tomorrow launches the official Domo at 7-Eleven campaign. There's going to be Domo Slurpees with special collectible cups, Domo dogs, all kinds of Domo merchandise. There's a special Domo comic that features Domo drinking a Slurpee, and then I recommend you go buy it and find out what happens when he tries to drink a Slurpee. Exclusive DVD that also includes a special video about Domo drinking a Slurpee. So it's awesome. I don't know if you guys live near some 7-Elevens, but we have in LA. We've had like billboards going on all over the place advertising this stuff. So
Yeah, the craziest one
cool.
was that there's actually one down the street from our office that's in Japanese. That if you didn't know, how to read hiragana, you'd be like, "What's that billboard about?" It's brown.
and it says Domo.
And it says Domo in Japanese,
Does
doesn't
it say
it?
like Domo is everywhere or something?
It says
and
Obey Domo.
Obey
and
Domo.
something else. I forget
Yeah.
what. So
Anyway.
that's pretty crazy. It's like a huge campaign. We're really excited that we got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
yep. Go check out your 7-Eleven special comic. And Domo the actual manga is on sale now as well, so as it has been for a few weeks.
Yep.
Hooray!
Hooray.
And
Okay. Now on to the presentation. On to our big announcements. Are you guys ready for this?
Yep.
Marco's ready.
I'm not going to sing the song that just came to mind. Bad disco
You
techno
don't
stuff.
remember
That too.
What about MC Hammer?
You can't touch this?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the TOKYOPOP Insider number 3, New York Anime Festival 2009. Yay! Shut up. If you were at New York Anime
we
Fest,
didn't change
we
these.
would have been giving away free posters.
Oh, don't go. Don't
Sorry
stop
that you
yet.
missed those.
Go,
Wait,
go
what?
back to the
What?
posters.
Go back? Sorry.
Yeah. The thing about the posters, okay, so New York Anime Fest is over. Obviously, you can't get the posters there. But if you go to any anime convention that Anime Pavilion is exhibiting at through probably the end of the year, they're going to have a bunch of these posters to give away if you buy any TOKYOPOP manga. So check out their tour schedule. They go to all kinds of crazy. I think they're going to be in Detroit and, I don't know, V, do you remember where else they're going to be soon? Oregon.
AnimePavilion.com?
I think so, animepavilion.com. In any case, you can even call them up, find out where they're going to be. And if they're going to be near you, then you can get these posters as well. There's a Princess I Prism 2 poster, and then this special Domo poster, which features, this is art from the back cover of our manga. So, all right.
Yay!
now we can go on.
So you can still get those posters.
This was pretty awesome. If you guys didn't go to New York Anime Fest, you missed this. We had these Domo window clings in the mirrors of the convention center. It was awesome. It said no farting. Good advice. Wash your hands, also great advice, and keep your unshi to yourself, which...
If you know what it means, then you know what it means. If you don't know what it means, you probably don't want to know. So,
but Google it. It's worth it.
Sure.
Google image it. It's even better.
Oh my God. I take no responsibility for that.
This was a contest we were running over the weekend. It is over, and if you get the newsletter, you would have seen it as well. And forget this whole tweet thing. That is also all over too. But we'll still take your votes. So go ahead and go to tokyopop.com/ramen-flavor, and you can vote. And we want to know what your favorite ramen flavors are.
There's a reason why we have all this stuff going on about ramen as well, which will be revealed in a future Insider. Dun dun dun. So,
But for now, just
stay
enjoy
tuned.
your ramen.
Right. 99 cents of delicious. And we have the poster for the Priest movie. When I was at New York Anime Fest, I had people raise their hands for how many people had heard of the Priest movie. Obviously, I can't really do that now, but hopefully you do all know that there is a movie called Priest coming out next summer from our friends at Screen Gems. And even more people often know that this was based on a manhwa that TOKYOPOP released called Priest. It was 16 volumes and counting. Story of a cursed priest and vampire slaying and all sorts of awesome action. It did great for us. We're really excited about it. And we're really excited that this film is coming out.
The film stars Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
It's got Cam
Gigandet, who played James in Twilight, for those of you Twilight fans out there.
Maggie Q is in it. Christopher Plummer is in it. I mean, it's got a seriously awesome cast. We actually, a bunch of us got to walk around the set at Sony Pictures, and it was really awesome. It's going to be really cool. Nope.
Not everybody did, but some special people did. And in honor of that, we have Priest Purgatory, which is a bridge story that is going to connect the original manga series to the universe of the movie, which is set several hundred years in the future. This is going to be written, I believe, by Min-Woo himself, and scripted by the scripter for the screenplay for the Priest film. We're still in the process of sorting out who the artist is going to be. But this is going to be a really exciting one-volume, timed perfectly to come out with the movie, so...
Did you say it was full color?
Full color. Is it full color? Awesome. It's going to be full color.
Full color.
Yay!
It's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's coming out in July. Right.
And speaking of film tie-ins, any Joss Whedon fans out there who are familiar with his new project, The Cabin in the Woods? This is a spoof of horror films. Spoof isn't really the right word. It's a re-examination of the universe of horror films in sort of Joss's inimitable style. And we are doing a manga that is basically, it's a side story in that same universe. So it's not going to be a retelling. It's not going to be exactly the same characters. I can't really say much more than that because we don't want to spoil the excitement for you guys, but it's really exciting. This is a pretty awesome project. So check that out, coming in February. Is that right?
Coming out February.
The film.
Yep.
Day and date with the film.
February 5th.
Yeah. There's a couple of character sketches for
Yep.
people in the manga. Okay.
And last but not least, do you want to talk about this?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay,
Keep
so this
talking.
is we sort of have this trilogy of film stuff coming out in 2010, and this is actually the first of the three. It's coming out in January 5th, 2010, and this is preceding the release of the Shutter Island film. A lot of you have probably heard about this. If you've been to any major motion pictures in the last few weeks, you've seen trailers for it. It's directed by Martin Scorsese, stars Leonardo DiCaprio. It's based off of a novel written by Dennis Lehane, who did Mystic River and what's the Gone Baby Gone? That's the boxing one. So Shutter Island. This is about two detectives who go to this mental hospital on an island because there are reports that someone has gone missing there, and they're there to try to discover that person. This graphic novel is it's an adaptation of a graphic novel, or it's an adaptation of the novel. It's a pretty straight retelling, but it's not a straight retelling in that it is a graphic novel. It's absolutely so. A lot of when you get in dialogue, you get in these incredible. I mean, even you can see even just in the cover that the art is absolutely fantastic for this product. We're really proud of it and really happy with the way it came out. So definitely check this out. Movie studios were a little annoyed that we were putting this out, even though the book has been around forever, because it kind of gives there's a spoiler, it's a major spoiler. If you read the graphic novel, you'll know what's happening in the movie. Although arguably you could figure it out from the trailers too. So just see how smart you are watching those trailers.
So that's coming out in January. We just got our early samples of that in the last week or so, and they really look gorgeous. So everybody should be incredibly proud of this book. And we have some new things for all of you Fruits Basket fans out there. We have the Fruits Basket Fan Book Banquet. We did the Fruits Basket Fan Book Cat about a year and a half ago. And that covered, it was released before the series was actually...
2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay, anyway. It was released before the series was actually concluded in Japan, so it didn't cover the entirety of what was going on. So they had a subsequent fan book later, Fruits Basket Fan Book Banquet, and that actually does cover through volume 23, so if you haven't read through volume 23, be wary of spoilers, because there's a lot of exciting stuff that happens in those last several volumes. It's full of quizzes, character profiles, inside information, color pages. It's going to be really cool. We're really excited about it coming out in May. And this is something that we've gotten questions on in the past. We are bringing back the Fruits Basket Ultimate Editions. We started releasing these. These are oversized hardcover versions. It's 2 volumes bound up as one big book for, was it $14, $14.99?
Yeah.
So it's a good discount for people who haven't bought the series yet, and for librarians particularly are big fans of this kind of thing. We did the first 3 volumes and decided that we were sort of cannibalizing our own sales for the series, and so we stopped releasing them until we concluded Fruits Basket, which, as everybody knows, hopefully, Fruits Basket Volume 23 came out in July. It is done. We were all very sad. And so now the Ultimate Editions are coming back. Volume 4, I believe, is coming out in February? And January, and Volume 5 is coming out in... I covered up the date when I made this PowerPoint. May, I think. May or April.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So yeah, we're going to be doing the whole series this way, right?
I think so. That's the plan.
So look forward to those. And we have Songs and Laughter, which is a 1-volume anthology of short stories from Natsuki Takaya, the Fruits Basket creator. Tsubasa, Those with Wings, and Phantom Dream, which are 2 of her earlier series, we launched earlier this year, and they're both off to great starts. Actually, Tsubasa's almost over. And so this is another way to kind of look into sort of her history as a creator and how she sort of became the artist that she is today.
Look how cute that cover is.
It's
I mean,
a
the
really
cover is
cute
kind
cover.
of, the cover's amok, but the art,
Yeah.
those 2 characters are so cute.
It's really a charming bunch of stories. So even people who don't usually sort of dig anthologies, which I know can be kind of frustrating because you want more. You want more of those stories. I think it's a really nice addition to your Takaya collection. So check it out.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
sample
some
art, yay. This one definitely seems to have a little bit more humor than Phantom Dream does. Phantom Dream is like deadly serious the entire time, but I really like it. So, and we have Dot Hack Link, which is the latest in our large and growing collection of the Dot Hack franchise. This also has some super cute art. I know next to nothing about the sprawling universe of the Dot Hack franchise. I saw the anime series like 5 years ago, so I really couldn't tell you how this plays into everything. We might end up having our friend Rui, also known as the Mighty Mega Master of Manga, come on and do a big explanation of how all of the Dot Hack series fit together.
Yeah, we're
'Cause
gonna
I could definitely use that.
We're gonna do a video. He's gonna sort of be like Instructor Super
Right.
Mighty, going through because he is if you guys attended the last
Yeah.
webinar, you saw he is a huge
Huge
Dot
fan.
Hack fan, and he knows how everything relates. So I think he's gonna do it with Cindy, who you guys have met on the on previous Insiders, and then they're gonna do like a whole online component where they match it up. So if you've ever been confused by Dot Hack, be confused no more.
Yes.
Coming
Coming
November.
soon, right. And we have Ratman by Inui Sekihiko, who is the author of, among other things, Comic Party and Murder Princess. So we did Comic Party back in the day. Del Rey was releasing Murder Princess a little more. Was it Del Rey or was it Broccoli?
I don't remember.
Anyway, I get Murder Princess and Princess Resurrection confused. I'm sorry. So this is actually a kind of manga version of a superhero story. We have our typical hapless shonen protagonist who is a huge fan of a superhero called Mr. Thunder. And through a series of kind of experiments gone awry, he ends up being transformed into a superhero himself. Comedy and awesome action ensues. I think that this is a really fun book. One of the things that I really liked when we were first evaluating it for licensing is actually the little skeleton dudes that you can see sort of on the left side of the page there. They spend most of Volume 1 kind of following our hero around and kind of spying on him. Whenever he turns around, they'll be doing something else. They'll like be peeling paint off the walls or playing with kittens or eating ice cream or something, trying to look inconspicuous when obviously they stand out anywhere. So Ratman's going to be a lot of fun, coming out in May. I think everything's coming out in May. May, yes. Good times.
All right.
And we have Quasar Stigmata by Sato Kenetsu and Yoshino Hiroyuki. This is the artist for the My Hime manga. So if you like the art in the My Hime manga, obviously the story is nothing like My Hime, except that it involves a lot of TNA. And when I say T, I mean like serious T. This is an M-rated series.
Capital T.
It really earns it. There's random use of Cyrillic characters.
You can get a little hint of it here,
Yeah, there
but
we
it gets
go.
much bigger and better.
Emphasis on the bigger. There's random use of Russian Orthodox sort of mythology, lots of cute girls, random nudity, action and fighting. Should be a lot of fun for those who like that kind of thing, which I know you're out there. And laugh.
And
I'm not even going to repeat what my boss just said.
I'll tell you, Deb Oki, I don't think she's on here because she was at the panel on Saturday, but she emailed me afterwards and was like, hey, can I get synopses for Dot Hack Link and this and that? And the only notes that I have for Quasar are, what'd she say? It was something like, boobs and milk and ew. That's all she wrote down.
If by ew you mean awesome, then you're right on, Deb. Next up, we have...
All right, so we've got the final 2 books in our Henson publishing program. I don't know if you guys are fans of these, but there are a lot of fans of these books out there, especially for the Labyrinth stuff. I mean, I count myself among them, fans of the Labyrinth movie back from my childhood. And so we've got Volume 2, Legends of the Dark Crystal, and Return to Labyrinth, Volume 4. Both of those are coming out in August of next year. I think you guys were talking about Labyrinth earlier in the chat, but anyway, these are, same artist, same writer combinations. These are going to be beautiful books, and of course, they're very true to the world of Labyrinth and Dark Crystal. These are all Henson approved, so.
Those new cover sketches looked a lot better when they were projected on a giant screen at New York Anime Fest.
True.
But trust us, they look great.
Oh yeah, and then I've got a couple of announcements about the Warcraft publishing program. The first is we've got Warcraft Death Knight coming out in December. For all of you Warcraft, StarCraft fans out there, I don't know if there are a lot of you on this chat, but the Warcraft Death Knight, these are class-based volumes, so each one takes place or sort of focuses on a different class in the game. Death Knight comes out in December, and then we've got Warcraft Mage coming out in June. And this is a very rough cover, obviously, with just some line art there. And then we've got another announcement that we're not quite ready to make, but we are going to have some art. Again, if you guys are Warcraft fans, you probably heard about the new Warcraft magazine that's coming out. I believe it comes out next month or in November. And that magazine, we're going to have some art. We're going to have sort of a serialized comic that's going to run in there. And the artist-writer combo is, let me just say, it will make you mad crazy when you find out who it is. That's your clue. I know, it's hilarious.
She's really all about the dropping hints that nobody's going to understand yet.
But you'll understand it when
awesome.
You find out, then you'll be like, oh, that's what she meant.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's going to be really, really cool. We're super excited about it.
Mm-hmm. And we have a bunch of Boys Love titles to talk about. So the three on the screen here are continuing volumes from different series. So Junta Romantica Volume 12 is going to be coming out in April. You Will Drown in Love Volume 2, which I didn't even know existed until I was at Kinokuniya a couple months ago, is coming out in May. And we have Voice or Noise Volume 3 coming out in August. Those are not the right covers for any of them. Those are the covers from the previous volumes, so don't get confused. But we are working on those. Junjo is particularly exciting since that was the first Boys Love title to hit the New York Times bestseller list in the manga category. So that was a big achievement for us. We were pretty excited about that. So that's a fun series for people to pick up on. I thought You Will Drown in Love 2 was a million times better than You Will Drown in Love 1, and I already really like that creator. And Voice or Noise 3 is actually, it's been out for a while in Japan, so we were really pleased that we finally managed to snag it, and we'll be doing it next year. So. And we have a few new titles, including Croaky by Hinako Takanaga, the author I was just talking about, You Will Drown in Love. Art Students in Love, good story. It involves transsexuals, which is kind of awesome. So, and we have, whoa!
Sorry, I just wasn't
Kasha got ahead of herself there. Hey, there we have some pretty art. Next, we have Blood Honey, which is picking up on the local vampire theme that seems to be really popular these days. So we have a very attractive young vampire who I believe is a nurse in his part-time. That's how he gets his blood supply. Next. Art. Looking good. We have Love Not by Lemon Ichijo coming out in April. I know very little about this one. I have yet to read it, but it looks really pretty. I believe this is also about artists, actually. It was like our art theme for spring. So I'm kind of a sucker for guys in glasses, too. So if you see a lot of people in glasses, it's probably because Lillian picked that. And we have Cute Demon, which is about a really hilarious clash of personalities. That's by Hiro Madarame, coming out in May. Pretty art. Lots of sparkles. Oh, I forgot. And we have Love Story, currently titled In the Isolated Island. Will probably be On the Isolated Island. There's a little bit of awkward English on the cover that managed to kind of make it into our database. By Duo Brand, who are a pretty well-known creative team out here. Other companies have done some stuff from them. This is set in what appears to be Edo period Japan, and it's actually a murder mystery to start off with. So we have a young policeman who's investigating why all these strange bodies with strange wounds start showing up. And he encounters a mysterious man, and drama and romance ensue. Good stuff. They're a really great artist team, so people who like handsome men in their comics, kissing each other, check it out. Yay! And then we have Seekers. For those of you who don't know, for the last few years, Tokyopop has been doing a co-publishing program with HarperCollins, who are also our distributor. Excuse me. Which means that we're taking a lot of their hit novel series and adapting them into manga and graphic novel format. One of our most successful series is something that I'd never heard of until I started working on it, which is called Warriors, which is, I like to describe it as Watership Down with cats. It's a very kind of realistic kid story that involves tribes of feral cats that fight against one another. Hugely popular with the sort of grade school set. The manga just sell like crazy. The authors behind Warriors have done a new series called Seekers, which is about bears instead of about cats. It actually, the whole tone of it is really different from Warriors, which I think is kind of neat. And so we are doing a manga series that's basically 3 volumes of prequels. So they, instead of being kind of side stories from the main arc, they actually all take place before our tribe of heroic bears, these 3 different bears, meet one another and kind of start off on this epic quest that they're on. Written by Dan Jolly, drawn by Bettina Kurkowski. Dan's written almost all of the Warriors books. Actually, I think he's written all of them. And Bettina drew The Rise of Scourge, which is one of our best ones, in addition to a series called My Cat Loki for TOKYOPOP. And we're really looking forward to this. I just sent it to Harper a couple weeks ago, so looking good. Other series that are available now that are Harper team up, we have Wicked Lovely Desert Fae Volume 1, came out in I guess, July. Vampire Kisses Blood Relatives just came out in September. Check that out. Should be on store shelves now. It's drawn by Rem, who's a fantastic artist. Actually, it's drawn by Elisa Kwan, Volume 3 is, but the original series was drawn by Rem, who was one of our winners in the Rising Stars of Manga contest back in the day. And Fairy Path Volume 1 came out October last year. I was like, wait a minute, I know that came out already because I have it, but I thought it said 2009. So these are all great stories. Check them out. We've had a great relationship with Harper, so yeah.
Okay, then finally, we just want to remind you all, because we get a lot of questions about these. We've presented them before, but again, just so everybody's aware, there are a few series that we had put on temporary hiatus that are now coming back. So those include Aria. We have Volume 5 coming out in November, which is only 2 months away. Tactics is coming out in January, and Elemental Jolade is going to be out next July 2010. That's Volume 12 of that series. Then we've got Pick of the Litter, which comes out in May 2010. That's going to be actually a bind-up of Volumes 5 and 6, and then I think we'll be done with that series, right? Mm-hmm. We've got Volume 4 of Supply coming out next July. That's one, that we heard about over and over and over and over and over again. So we're happy to bring it back, so stop asking us about it. And then BB Rose Volume 8 is going to release in May of 2010.
Actually, Volume 7 is releasing in January?
Yeah, soon.
Yeah,
sooner.
so you're going to see that on shelves a little earlier than some of the rest of these titles.
And isn't that Takaya's favorite series?
Mm-hmm.
Takaya loves, I don't know how you say her name, Banri Hidaka.
Banri Hidaka, yeah. Yep. They're all buddies. They talk about one another in their author little sidebars and stuff. It's really fun.
All right, so that does it. I want to make one final announcement before we start taking questions. We've already scheduled our next TOKYOPOP Insider, and it's not going to be one of these, PowerPoint presentation type things. This one is going to be awesome, and it's going to be awesome because it features our favorite character, Domo. Actually, it doesn't feature Domo. It features the guy who created Domo, although maybe Domo will make an appearance.
Yes.
His name's Goda, and he's the guy who created the original. You see all the videos, you see all the wacky NHK stuff in Japan. He's the guy who invented Domo. We're going to have him in our offices, and we're going to do a live TOKYOPOP Insider where people can ask him. We'll do an interview in person, probably Cindy or Lillian. Somebody will interview him. And then we'll let you guys answer questions. So that should be pretty fun.
Yep.
So look for that. I think it's going to be October 28th, something like that. We'll do it at this 5 o'clock time period. And keep a lookout for the schedule.
This is the first time we're announcing that, right?
Yeah, that's the first time we're announcing that.
This is the
you guys are truly on the inside scoop for that. Mm-hmm. One piece of information that you can get ahead of everybody else.
That's right. That's our compensation for not really succeeding with the panel last week. So you guys who stuck with us, you get a little bit of insider stuff. Yay! Domo.
All right. So now we can take questions. Make sure you send your questions to V.
Yep.
We're also monitoring the chat, so.
I'm trying not to because I'm finding it very distracting, so I have to not look down there. So the first question is, has the recent abundance of full-color manga taken the place of larger art books? And I I would say no, because there's sort of a different thing that goes on with larger art books. I think the full color manga is really an experiment. It's a way to sort of broaden what we're doing and try experimenting with sort of new formats and new ways of presenting things. So that's really the reason why we're doing that. I personally, this is my personal opinion, from a licensing perspective, I find art books to be not very worth our while to do. Partly because the reason why you buy something from a company like Tokyopop is because you want to read it in English. And most of the time there isn't enough text in art books to kind of justify the translation process. So I mean, you're buying it to really look at the pretty pictures, and the pretty pictures look the same whether it's printed in Japan or whether it's printed here. There are some exceptions to that, like stuff like Clamp no Kiseki. Obviously there's a huge amount of content in those. And we were really pleased that we were able to do those. It was a huge project, but they're pretty awesome. The Gothic and Lolita Bible was another example where we really, that seemed sort of like a worthwhile endeavor. But for us personally as a company, if you're not talking about something like Naruto or Full Metal Alchemist, it's very expensive to do art books because of the printing cost, even though the translation is nil. And so yeah, it's really kind of an apples and oranges comparison. So you will probably not be seeing many art books from Tokyopop in the future, unfortunately.
You should take a break and show people the ring you got
Oh,
at
yeah.
the Anime Fest that you're playing with.
Yeah, I've been kind of fiddling with my hand here because one of the things I bought at New York Anime Fest, once you've gone to a million cons, you kind of get sick of like buying manga and shopping for little character goods and stuff, which also I live in Los Angeles, so I can find those in a lot of places. So I bought a ring, which looks like a piece of cake. Yay! And that was from a lovely booth in the Artist Alley at New York Anime Fest, so yay, supporting local talent.
It looks like a whole cake.
I think, yeah, it's like a whole cake. It's got strawberries and kiwis and stuff on it, chocolate. It's pretty exciting.
Okay, what's up
Cake
with
ring.
Good Witch of the West?
Novel, well, I guess it's kind of the same question. Unfortunately, as great a series as I think that is, it never really got a lot of traction here. We were hoping that it would pick up when the anime came out in Japan, but for whatever reason it really didn't. So we may end up finishing that at some point because I thought that we were really close to the end of the manga series, but for the time being it's kind of on hold. So I'm sorry that's going to be really disappointing. But it's going to be one of a number of disappointing things because the next question is all about different series that are on hold.
Not the last one.
Actually, not the first one either. Castlevania, I think we kind of caught up to that in
we're
Japan.
caught up to that.
So there's no more of that in English because there's no more of that in Japanese, which is also the case for Vassalord. Volume 3 just came out in September. Volume 4 is in some stage of progress. Nanae Chrono, I assume, is working on it, but she's working on a bunch of different things, so it seems to be going slowly. But as soon as that comes out, and as soon as Castlevania comes out, we will definitely get those out to you as fast as we can. The same is actually true for War Angels, which is by Jaewon Kim. We did one volume, like 2 or 3 years ago almost. And Jaewon is an incredibly busy artist. He's still doing his King of Hell series. He's doing a lot of stuff for us for Warcraft, on the Blizzard titles that we're working on. So really, he kind of hasn't gone back to War Angels to finish it yet. So that's sort of not on his priority list. Perhaps it will be someday, but I do not know. Doors of Chaos. Doors of Chaos was actually completed in Japan. I have Volume 3 in existence. It's actually been printed in other languages, but it has not yet been printed in English. When it will be, whether it ends up in kind of our online manga section, that's a possibility, but I really can't say much more about that for now. But it does exist, so if that's something that you're really excited about, then let us know, and that'll your feedback on things like this really does affect the way we plan things. So if we don't know that you guys want it, then we assume that you don't want it. So tell us. I mean, that's why you're seeing things like Supply go back into the schedule, is that we knew that they were a great series. We try to license things that we believe in, but if we don't see a lot of support from the fan base, then it's, especially in pressing economic times, it can be difficult to continue them. So yay! And Demonium. Demonium Volume 2 is a subject of a lot of debate right now. We're trying to figure out what's the best way to do that. So we know that one does, have a lot of people who want it, including our friends overseas. So hopefully more about that soon.
The status of Kingdom Hearts. That, we released Volume 2 or something of Kingdom Hearts
2
a while ago. At the moment, we don't have any plans to continue on with the Kingdom Hearts series. Somebody else may have plans to do that. We're really not sure, but that's really all that we can say about that. Do TP.com polls foretell future plans? I assume you're referring to the which license are you more excited about? The Hikkai no Ion or Natsuki Takaya's, why am I having a brain freeze? Singing Stars.
Singing Stars.
And, well, all I can say is that the future may tell. That's it. So it may foretell future plans. It may not. It's just a poll. We just want to know. What are you more interested in?
Yeah.
we're honestly just curious.
We're gauging feedback, so.
Yep.
And it seems like there's a conversation going on about question number 6, which was, would you consider licensing double arts? Someone said that that is a Shueisha/Jump title, so Viz would get it. And then someone said, if they don't want it, then why couldn't Tokyopop have it? It gets really complicated because Viz is the subsidiary of Shueisha and Shogakukan, which are two of the largest publishers in Japan. So Viz really gets whatever they want to get, and I'm distracted now because we have a surprise guest.
Okay.
And we have a hard time, since we don't have a direct relationship with Shueisha and Shogakukan at this point because, they have their own company to publish stuff. It's very rare for things to kind of go outside the fold like that. Other companies have gotten mature titles in the past, like Dark Horse has done a couple of older older Shueisha Shogakukan titles. CMX did, whatchamacallit? Not Air Gear, the other one. Whatever, mature series back in the day by Oh Great. Why can't I think of the name? But especially since Viz is doing a lot more mature titles right now and working on their signature line, I think it's unlikely that you're going to see a lot of those titles go elsewhere in the future. Tenjo Tenge, thank you. Thank you. Thank God for the chat feed. And we have a surprise guest.
Special guest.
So,
we're going to introduce Allison Smoke. She's our Director of Sales and Manufacturing. Woo! So say something. Oh, there she is. You probably saw her on that Domo video. She said she would take a samurai sword for Domo. That's my second favorite line.
Aw.
do you want a chair, Allie?
No, I'm cool.
Okay, I'm going to let you take the stage.
Oh,
You want a
I'm doing
beanbag?
no, I'm actually good. I just, I've been monitoring the chats and I've been, checking out what everybody's saying and, we're putting stuff back like Supply and Pick of the Litter and all these other titles. We're listening to you, but as being the head of sales, I have to deal with, Barnes & Noble and Borders and Books A Million and, mom and pop stores in your neighborhood. But you have to go and tell them to carry it. So I can print the books, I can try to sell the books, but you guys out there need to go and tell Borders and Barnes & Noble, local mom and pop stores, wherever you buy your manga, that you want them to carry it. Otherwise, I could make thousands of these books, whatever you guys want, and try to sell it in. But if you guys don't tell them that you're willing to buy this stuff and support Tokyopop, there's not much else we can do. So we're listening to you, we're doing what we can, but you guys got to go to your bookstores and say, hey, carry Tokyopop books. Carry Supply, carry Pick of the Litter, carry more VBROs. We're here, we're working for you. It's all about you, people. Love you. Peace out. Woo!
Okay. So that was Allison making a special appearance. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, this is to kind of add to what Allie was saying. We hate canceling series. It sucks. It sucks for us. It sucks for the licensors. It sucks for the artists back in Japan. It's never something that we want to do. It is something that we do because we don't believe that people are buying something, that we don't see the support for it. We can't get it into stores. Retail's a crowded space these days. There's a lot of manga titles up on the shelves. If you want to see something on those shelves, you have to tell people that it needs to be there, because that space is valuable. So, yeah, just to kind of add to that. It's a continual frustration, because, we're manga fans too. It's not like we're out to, make you guys miserable. So,
Okay, so one person had a question. Do you think we'd come to Anime Weekend ATL? I'm assuming that's Atlanta. Not in the near future, I would say. I mean, there are dozens and dozens of these shows all year long, and we, don't really have the funds to fly out. But if it were ever, sort of coinciding with another trip that we were doing or something, we'd definitely consider it. So it's sort of among the top tier of anime conventions out there. But I wouldn't look for us in the near future. And then, would you consider putting a spot on your website where you could list the series? Okay, so this is a question where we could list the series and their publishing status. This is something we've considered, but it's a little tricky because, you'd basically get a list of all the stuff that that's coming into print, and then a list of things that say, to be determined, or, might be coming back later. It's a little bit, it's so unknown to us even that it's a little risky for us to kind of put it out there, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, I know it would help alleviate some of these questions, but also we're happy to answer your individual questions about each of these titles. So don't hesitate to email us, and we'll let you know if there's a particular series that you're interested in finding out about. We know that the website is pretty ugly these days, but we're really doing our best to kind of keep new titles up front, to really keep that schedule as updated as we can. You're going to probably see some changes in the listings in the next few months, hopefully. So that's. I mean, we give you as much information as we can, really, and we'll continue to work to make it better. So that's good feedback. But yeah, I mean, we moved a lot of these titles back into the schedule in the last few weeks, really, and it's been, the last year has been a really rough one for everybody in the economy, particularly publishing. So we really had to kind of cut down our line, reevaluate where things were, and now that we have a better sense of things and what direction the industry is going, we're bringing a lot of stuff back. So yeah, it's an ongoing process of evaluating just conditions and what's going to work, what's not. So yeah, don't ever think that freeze list is completely dead. So Long Beach Anime Fest, again, not really sure. Although about the Atlanta thing, I take that back a little bit. We are working on a program for extending our reach to some of these shows. So actually, it is possible that we would end up in Atlanta, and it is possible, that we would end up in Long Beach too. But no current plans at the moment, but keep your eyes out. But we are going to be doing some stuff at the Long Beach Comic-Con, which is coming up just this weekend. We're going to have some Battlestar and Star Trek artists and writers that are doing a signing Saturday from 2 to 4. This is all happening at the Barnes & Noble booth. We're actually going to be giving away those Princess Ai and Domo posters for purchases of Tokyopop products. They're going to be doing raffles. They're going to have a huge Domo gift basket thing with a plushie and games and t-shirts and all kinds of stuff that they're going to be raffling out. And they've also got some other prizes from us. So if you're in Long Beach, I would definitely check out the Long Beach Comic-Con this weekend. It's going to be a good time. And we have a question about the t-shirts that we did for Target and Anchor Blue. I don't know how many people saw these, but we actually did a run of Princess Ai, Bizengast, and Dramacon t-shirts in different designs that were being sold as test markets in a couple of different Target and Anchor Blue stores across the country. That was a test. There were not very many of these shirts out there. I think there were like 200 or something ridiculous. So I'm not surprised if people didn't see them. Hopefully that test was a success and you'll get to see more of those in the future, but I honestly don't have much more information about that now. We did, this is kind of a stupid story, but there's some website where like it shows people's mugshots. It's just like a big gallery of different sort of goofy looking mugshots of people. I don't know where they get them from or how they end up on the internet. And one of our salespeople sent us a link one day, which was a girl wearing the Dramacon t-shirt, apparently getting photographed for being arrested for some reason. And I was like, awesome, go Dramacon. That's great. So you never know where those t-shirts are going to pop up. That's the moral of that story. Yeah, the Dramacon shirts are pretty cool. So, by the way, I'm seeing some questions up here about some comments about how difficult it is to navigate the website. We're actually changing the navigation bar. It should be happening, I'm not sure exactly when, but maybe in the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be a lot simpler. So That should help out finding those. It's not going to be under Art and Life forums. It's going to, I can't remember what it's going to be called, but in any case, it's going to be much better.
What's happening with the next volume of Bizengast? She's working on it. Volume 6 came out in August. Volume 7 will come out sometime next year. So
And that'll be it, right?
Yeah, that'll be it. That's the exciting conclusion. I have the cover for it. I have the first chapter, so it's well underway. Thanks for all your support on that one, guys. I mean, that's been a great series for us. Marty's fantastic to work with. Anybody who's seen her at conventions, she's a force to be reckoned with. It's always a really amusing experience. So good times. And we get a lot of questions. I haven't answered this in a while, so I just want to kind of check on it. Replay Volume 3 is also coming out, so that's going to be in January. So I know that got pushed off a couple of times for various reasons, but it is still happening. It is done. I'm just waiting for the tones. It's going to go to press soon. Hooray! That's a great question. What's the trophy behind you on the shelf? There's actually a bunch of them, so thanks for asking.
This is the best one.
Yeah.
So at the first New York Anime Fest, I think this, wow, this thing's totally broken. I think this thing got this competition went away. There's only one year when they did this. They did the American Anime Awards. This was 2007. This was actually for New York Comic Con, I think. That was the trip that I almost died. I'll tell you that story some other time. Ooh, look, I'm getting all pixelated.
Wow,
so yeah,
the webcam really doesn't like that.
Yeah. So this is from New York Anime Fest, and we were the winner of the best manga. Woo! For Fruits Basket. So this is the first time they did it. So they had like all the kings up there, Naruto, Fruits Basket, whatever you want to imagine. But we got our fan base to rally behind us, and it was a fan voted thing, and we won. That was cool.
Yep.
So that's what this trophy is, which is kind of delicate. What's going on with the Van Von Hunter film?
Yay! That was one of the questions that we got at New York Anime Fest.
Jason,
actually,
you guys met
so.
Jason earlier. He's done a lot of work on Van Von Hunter. Haven't you, Jason? How many hours do you think you've put into Van Von Hunter?
2 years.
2 years. 2 years of his life.
A long time.
You better like it.
So yeah, the film is basically complete, I believe. I think they're getting ready for a friends and family screening in the next
went like this.
soon.
This much left to do.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be, I don't know what the distribution plans are yet. I think they're still working that out, but hopefully you guys will get to see it soon.
I'm in it.
So, I'm not, but that's okay.
I get to pretend I'm the publisher of TOKYOPOP.
Right.
You give away more Pocky.
Will we give away more Pocky?
We've got some Pocky that's like 5 years old sitting around the office.
Yeah, we
if
do.
you want some of that. Strawberry Pocky, which I find to be totally vile, but
We inflict on the
people like
interns
it.
occasionally, so.
I have some on my desk right now.
Yeah. I think I have some in my desk drawer for like nights when I'm working late and I'm about to die.
You never know. We've got a great relationship with the Pocky folks, so.
Yeah, anybody who was at San Diego Comic-Con, we actually did a fan art contest with Pocky, and
the winner got $1,000.
Uh-huh. And was it the vice
That's
president of Glico who came and talked to us?
I
So
think he's a sales guy, but.
You can watch the video and find out.
yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a video of me talking to this guy, and a completely unscripted interview. it's very exciting.
All right, we've got time for a couple more questions, and then we'll have to wrap. Is the new Alice manga based on the Tim Burton movie? No.
Oh,
Okay, so you're
yeah.
talking about Alice in the Country of Hearts. It's coming out in February. It is not based on the Tim Burton movie. It's its own thing, published in Japan, but we're releasing it like 6 weeks ahead of the movie release, just because it'll be on people's minds, and we figured, might as well capitalize on, all of the Alice in Wonderland stuff that's happening. It's not based on it. It's totally its own story, but it's awesome. And it is kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's in the same vein as the Tim Burton movie. I would assume that given what he's done before. It's really like sort of weird and a little bit, sort of alterna Alice.
It's actually, I believe it's based on a dating sim game, except it's a girls' dating sim game. So it's Alice falls into Wonderland and is surrounded by super hot versions of the White Rabbit and the Knights and stuff like that. So lots of shonen, lots of fun. So
it's gonna be really good, and we just changed the
definitely
release
like a
schedule.
very kind of gothic sensibility. Lots of cool like J-rock fashion.
Yeah, really cool fashion. And we just changed the publishing schedule, so Volume 1's going to come out in February, and then Volume 2 is actually going to come out in March. So you'll be able to follow those up right. You'll be able to follow Volume 1, you'll be able to follow up right with Volume 2 right after. So that's cool.
Can we tour the TP offices? That's actually something that we've kind of talked about for Future Insider, is giving you guys a little bit of a look about what we do and where we sort of do it.
Oh, you're sleepy.
Where is our office? It actually says on the inside of all of our books, so you can look it up and Google Map it yourself if you really want to. But if you try and like show up and knock on the door and stuff, you're probably not going to succeed because we're in a big building that has a lot of security, actually. So hopefully they will prevent you from just like invading. If you really want to see the offices in person though, and you're available, do an internship. I mean, we really have a ton of interns who come in and help us with all manner of things. So it's unpaid, it's a lot of work, but it's great experience. It's a great way to kind of work on the manga that you love. I mean, that's how at least a few of us, myself included, kind of got our start is, you like manga, what do you want to do to make it better? Well, how do you make it better? You get hired at a company that does it, and then you try and make it better from the inside. So, yeah, it's a fun career.
All right, so I think we'll wrap it up for now.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Sorry again about all the troubles in your Anime Fest, but we appreciate you kind of coming along for the ride, for our crazy technical ride. We're really trying to make this work, and it's not, in some cases, all the technology isn't really there to meet us. So we're gonna make this happen, but in the meantime, look forward to some of this stuff. Go out and buy. There's a bunch of new releases that just came out earlier this week, so check them out. And especially so Chibi came out this week. Karakuri Odette, which is getting great reviews for great reason. I talked about this in your Anime Fest. Karakuri Odette is a terrific. It really took me by surprise, given what I knew about it, and I just read it a few weeks ago and loved it. It's a lot smarter than you would think, given the premise. Really, really good. Just about every review that's come out about it has said it's really terrific. So check that out.